Good afternoon, my name is Brandy. I will be giving you your safety training today for Spencer's Gifts as a retail sales associate that sells novelty, edgy, and gig items. Before we get into details of this job, I would like to mention a few things that are set for all workers in Ontario. Every worker has the same rights and responsibilities for any job when it comes to their health and safety. You have the right to refuse any work you feel that may put you at risk for injury. You have the right to be trained on doing a job requirements. You have the right to ask for help while doing any task at a job. Also, you have the right to ask for safety equipment that is needed for the job. You are entitled to take part in any discussions for workers. Responsibilities to report any hazardous working conditions, as well as responsible to report any damaged equipment that would be used on the job. While you are at this job, you are expected to wear proper footwear that has good grip, as well as no profanity clothing that fit properly and doesn't show a lot of skin. There are a few hazards that can happen at any time while working here, and I would like to be able to make you aware of them and how to prevent them from happening. Lifting heavy boxes. By lifting heavy boxes improperly, this can cause muscle strains, sprains, neck, and back injuries. When working in retail, there are always new shipments coming in boxes. Some of these boxes can weigh up to 50 pounds. By lifting improperly or not asking for help from other staff can result in serious injuries. Using step ladders. Every day in retail, step ladders are used to reach and place items on higher levels. Many falls result in improper use of step ladders when they collapse, as well as injuries due to pinch fingers. Also, injuries happen when ladders are uneven or improperly set up and fall over. To reduce injuries, always check the ladder over to see if it is broken. Always pay attention when folding ladders up to reduce risk of pinching fingers. Also make sure ladders are on even ground before climbing to reduce risk of falling over. Working with knives and box cutters. Using knives and box cutters are another tool that is also another thing sales associates use almost daily to open shipment boxes. The risk of with knives and box cutters involve cuts, lacerations, puncture wounds. Risk increase due to improper use and handling of knives and box cutters. To reduce these risks, always pay attention. Always cut away from your body. Use flat, even surfaces to cut on, or make sure boxes are on flat, even surfaces. Also, never play around with knives and box cutters. Using foldable trolleys. While working in retail, you may be asked to use foldable trolleys to take out garbage in cardboard boxes. The injuries with using a foldable trolley include bruises, pinched fingers, and even sometimes broken bones within feet. To reduce the injury risk, always make sure you are paying attention and correctly fold and unfold the trolley. Never place feet under the trolley and stand back to reduce risk of broken bones in feet and bruises. Slips, trips, and falls. While working in retail, the most common work-related accidents are slips, trips, and falls due to spilled drinks, items laying on the floor, and garbage in the aisles of the store. To reduce the risks to yourself, staff, and/or customers, place wet floor signs when the spill occurs. Then grab a mop to clean up the spill. To reduce the risk of trips and falls for yourself, other staff, and/or customers, always make sure the floor is free of items and garbage at all times. To prevent falls and trips when carrying items, always watch where you are going and don't carry too many items that make it hard to see. Hazardous products. While working in retail, sometimes you will have to use chemicals to clean. These chemicals can cause skin irritations as well as chemical burns. Always use properly handling and read labels. Also wear protective gloves and use proper cleaning equipment like mops. When done using chemicals, always store chemicals properly by making sure the lids are on the bottles tight. Shoplifting and robbery. When working in retail, it is important not to forget that shoplifting and robbery could happen while you are working. To reduce the risk for shoplifting, always acknowledge customers by greeting them. It will let them know that you are aware that they are there. If you suspect a customer is shoplifting, contact security Don't go after the customer. Remember key details of what the person looked like to give the information to security. If you are confronted by a robber, stay calm and don't make any sudden movements. If there is other staff, let them know so they will not be startled. If you are the only one in the store, stay calm, follow the directions. If they are wanting cash and items, let them take the items in cash. As cash and items can be replaced, your life cannot be. To reduce these risks, always keep the store clean and tidy. When working alone, stay away from cash registers. Ask customers if they need help in finding anything, as well as if customers are holding items. Ask them if they would like you to place the items at the sales counter for them. Your rights and responsibilities are as follows. You have the right to refuse any work you feel that is unsafe. You have the right to ask to be trained in doing any of the requirements for this job. You have the right to ask for supervision while doing any task for this job. You have the right to ask for safety equipment that is needed to get the job done. You are responsible to report any unsafe working conditions. You are responsible to report any broken equipment that may be used for this job. You are also responsible to report any injuries that have occurred on the job. You're responsible to follow any and all job rules while working. I would like you to use your judgment while working on the job. And remember your responsibilities as well as your rights. Don't think nothing can happen to you that can risk your health and body, because it can to anyone. Don't attempt anything you have not been properly trained to do, or if you feel uncomfortable doing the task. Always ask questions if you are unsure about anything at all. With having said this, is there any questions you would like to ask before we continue?